The member for Newcastle.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Defence Materiel. How has the government improved the capabilities provided to our troops over the past 12 months, and what is it doing to strengthen the skills of the Australian defence industry?
The Minister for Defence Materiel.
Well, thank you, Mr Speaker, and can I thank the member for Newcastle for a question. In the last 12 months, we've delivered a lot of equipment for our soldiers in Afghanistan. That includes the upgrading of our Bushmaster vehicles. Our troops in Afghanistan also now have new combat body armour and are wearing a new combat uniform. We have also rolled out a new counter-rocket system that warns our troops of rocket attacks at the base at Tarin Kowt, as well as a number of our forward operating bases. They're all part of the $1.6 billion force protection package that the government is implementing. Mr Speaker, I was in Afghanistan a few weeks ago and had the opportunity to talk to our soldiers about this new equipment, and their feedback on the ground was very positive. That said, there is still more work to do. There is always more work to do, particularly in the area of IEDs. Earlier this year, we made the decision to purchase an additional 101 Bushmaster vehicles to replace those that had been destroyed, as well as supporting current and future operations. On Monday, the Minister for Defence and I announced an agreement with the Canadian government for a number of ground-penetrating radar systems to help to clear the roads of IEDs in Oruzgan province. In Air Force, in the last 12 months, 20 of our new Super Hornets have been delivered, and the next 4 Super Hornets will be delivered in the next month. In March, members may remember, we made the decision to purchase a 5th C-17 heavy lift aircraft, and it will arrive in Australia in the next few weeks. Work is also well underway on the first air warfare destroyer, and I know some of that work is occurring in the member for Newcastle's electorate, as well as work on the 2 new landing helicopter dock ships. And the Largs Bay, which we purchased from the UK government earlier this year, will arrive in Australia in December, where it will be commissioned HMAS Choules, after Claude Choules, who died in May this year, and members will know served in the Royal Navy in World War I and then migrated to Australia and served in the Royal Australian Navy in World War II. The question also asked about the Australian defence industry. The Australian defence industry does a lot of work for defence, about $5.5 billion every year. And over the next decade, that will increase to about $7.5 billion in today's terms. There's a reason for that. Over the next 10 to 15 years, we will replace or upgrade 85% of our military equipment. And that's a big challenge. It's important that we get it right, and a key part of that is making sure we've got the skills we need to do the job. The biggest mountain we'll have to climb is the Future Submarine Project, potentially the biggest and most complex defence project Australia has ever undertaken. It will potentially involve hundreds of companies, thousands of workers and a lot of skills that we don't currently have in sufficient numbers today. Some of those skills will come from overseas, but many will need to be grown here in Australia. That's why I've asked Skills Australia to work with Defence and the defence industry on the range and depth of skills that we'll need over the next decade and the best way to build them. This will help us to meet the challenges that lie ahead. And ultimately, that's what government is all about, meeting the challenges of today and the challenges of the future. So whether it's climate change, whether it's building the national broadband network, whether it's increasing the superannuation of Australian workers or providing our troops with the equipment they need, this government is delivering now to meet the challenges of the future.
Has expired. Order.